Hey guys, it's Mitch. How's it going? We're back again for another page of Blood Force issue 4. This is actually a page I should have done a commentary on last week. This is going to be Blood Force page 3 of issue 4. So just before we get into it, if you enjoy the channel, if you feel like you might want to help out a little bit, go subscribe on my Patreon. Links are in the description. So yeah, last week I went and just kind of did a commentary and then, put it all together, edited it, and, put that thing up, got a thumbnail ready, all of that, and was like going to bed and went, wait a minute, that's the wrong one. Well, shit. I mean, oh well. I suppose that they'll have to, catch up in the continuity because there's just so much info you get from these commentaries. I know that you were probably lost in the last one, and I apologize sincerely. But yeah, so this is going to be the actual conversation, most of it really, between, largely Gun Show and, what's his name? General Rancor. So we're going to start things off, of course, with the easiest panel possible, which is another stab at the angry Jim Lee face, only kind of amping things up a little bit. Not really trying to go for, I don't know, anything really resembling realism. Which is still pretty close to the Jim Lee face, looking at it. But I think it's maybe just a little bit more brow or something in there. But I liked how that turned out quite a bit. It's the easiest kind of thing to draw is just like a straight-on shot of a dude's face. But I like the amount of lines I was able to get in there. That's some fun stuff. And the thing he's holding, which doesn't look like it, is... Okay, so the deal here is that Gun Show and Knife show up at Blood Force HQ. They shouldn't know where Blood Force HQ is, but they do. And they issue a cease and desist order to stop looking into Delegate, or what's his name? He's like Chief Miles Austere. He's got galactic diplomatic immunity. So, taking a step up from the South Africans in Lethal Weapon 2. That's the only thing I remember that from. And, of course, General Rancor looks it over and goes, well, everything does appear to be in order. I haven't heard of galactic diplomatic immunity before, but this does seem correct. The only problem is, and then he scrunches the thing in his fist, and he goes, I don't give a good goddamn. Because of course he does. What else is he going to say? And we get our fun shots of our heroes glowering at the villains as they smugly, show up with their technically valid legal document. I kind of like this shot of Hogstab too, and was able to give him like a full-on Liefeld boob shelf, which was nice. He's earned that. But yeah, this is all fun stuff. Not much in the way of backgrounds on this page, is there? I don't think I'd bother with it at all, really. But, this is a cool page. Reasonably cool to draw anyway. This was one, I think, where I was actively trying to come up with, interesting things to happen in every panel, or something interesting, like an interesting expression, or something twisting it. And not always 100% successful, but was in most of the panels, at least, was able to come up with something where I was having some fun, which is probably the most important thing. So, for instance, this panel here, Gun Show is going to get over-rendered to shit. That's like part of his superpower, I think. And it's necessary because when he does his big flexing attack on page, I want to say it's like 6 or something. Maybe 7. You need to hyper-render him so that you can get all those veins all over him. Because if you just, if he's just regular, with big expanses of negative space, then you'd have to draw veins, which would still look okay. And thinking about it, I should maybe focus on doing that soon. But at least for one panel, that was fun to do. But we're not looking at that panel today. We're looking at this one. We got Knife here, who is not a character. The whole deal with Knife is just that up until, like, this whole page and every previous iteration, he is in this exact same stance, holding these exact same 2 blades with a big old grimace on his face. because this is all he can think of to do, I guess. He is going to get in the action first, but he gets dispatched reasonably quickly. It's like 2-3 pages. But because, I mean, there's only so much you can do with a guy called Knife if you don't care. And I kind of don't about him anyway. But I like I like the concept of just having a guy named Knife. It seems very Image, where you're not really thinking about it. It's like, yeah, no, it's a high concept thing. He likes knives. See? That's the kind of thing you can pitch in an elevator. Yeah, and here comes all of the rendering here. This is one of those instances where I think I render and then I go, you know what, let's do a little bit more. About maybe a little bit more. And just keep coming back to it. Yeah, those are some crazy fucking muscles for sure. And yeah, let's finish off Knife here. Maybe the worst thing about Knife is just his costume, which is he's got knives all over him. Which is funny, but is kind of not always fun to draw. So got the big ones crossing over his chest. He's got knives all over his belt, tied to his forearms, or strapped to them, I suppose. I think he's got some strapped to his thighs as well. And of course, in addition, he's got like 3 or 4 swords strapped to his back. There's a fun bit later on where he takes a kick from Hawkstab and knives just go flying everywhere. And this is the big handoff here. Pretty good physique on that guy. Maybe the head's a bit too big considering where it's sitting, but yeah. The pose from Rancor here, a little bit weak, but that's okay. I get a little bit caught up in, I don't know, trying to come up with a semi-realistic pose, and he's like turning, and his balance isn't 100% set. So it's like, yeah, no. Meanwhile, I've got Gunshow in this big heroic pose as he hands off a cease and desist order. I've got Hawkstab there right in front of Rancor in a very ridiculous reaction pose, which we'll see shortly. And then, yeah, Rancor just kind of dropped the ball a little bit, I think. Oh, well. This is one of those ones, the negative space here on the side was left on purpose. I think because I knew there was going to be a fair bit of dialogue in this panel. This is the big explanation thing about, having to cease and desist. Yeah, look at this pose out of Hawkstab with the boob shelf and everything. This is him just reacting to somebody showing up in his base and issuing him, some legal paperwork. Oh yeah, trying to remember to get more black in. That does look better. Is he turning? Oh wait, maybe you know what? I think I prattled on about the pose and it's actually not terrible. No, that's okay. I was reading that completely wrong. Okay, so that's on me. And then Little Knifey in the background, still crossing his arms with his blades, still grimacing. Just constant as the evening star. And big old Portasio swipes in the background. I think that kind of works. Okay, so we do actually get a little bit of background there with just the elevator that they're stepping out of. But anyway, that's going to do it for page 3. Yeah, very minimal background, actually. But, it's some kind of context, I suppose. And some kind of context is always the best kind of context. But yeah, these are fun, silly pages where bad guys talk for too long. And I get to fill in some, silly little missives in between all the kind of jargon. I do love my jargon. So, for instance, after issuing the summons, Gunshow says, "You are to halt all operations pertaining to the chief forthwith and surrender any intelligence you may have gathered on the chief to this date. Failure to submit said intelligence may result in legal repercussions up to and including imprisonment and a fine of $2,000. So, your average, video piracy punishment on that one. So, anyway, that is going to do it for this page. Thanks very much for watching. If you like this video, please hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notifications so you know when the next one's coming out. Go over and subscribe on my Patreon. Gives you early access to everything I do, from the Blood Force stuff to the YouTube videos before they get uploaded to YouTube. I'm trying to go without breathing and it's not going to work. As well as, oh shit, what's the rest of it? As well as some Patreon exclusive content. You can also follow me on Instagram and DM me there for commissions, and you can join the Blood Force Discord server. So, next week will almost certainly be a commentary for page 5, unless I fuck it up again. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. But that's going to do it. Thanks again for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.